Hi, hello, it's me, Julian Greystoke, coming at ya in recorded form today. Just because I didn't have enough time or energy to get this video out in face-to-face form, I guess you could call it. Because Pride Month is zipping by at top speed and I am so behind. I asked some of my viewers what they would like to see for Pride Month, and I actually already filmed a video covering a few of those subjects, although not all of them, because there are some of them that I either A, want to save for a full video themselves, or B, I just don't have enough expertise in to make a full video. One of them that I don't have enough expertise in is someone asked me to talk about writing ace romances, and quite frankly, I've only done it once myself, and so I just don't feel like I have enough of a handle on it to help other people write theirs. Even though I am an asexual who is married, so you think I would know, but writing an ace romance, and there's so many nuances in that I just don't feel like I can adequately give people advice. My advice would be consider not writing an ace romance unless you are asexual. But basically, I wasn't happy with the video that I have already filmed talking about ace stuff. So today we're just going to do a voiceover and look at memes, because memes are fun. I hope you don't mind. I know my looking at memes videos aren't my most popular, but I wanted to do something for Pride. So here we go. If you are brand new and you're confused, what does ace mean? What does all this talk about asexuality? I'm not going to explain it in this video. But I do have several other videos about being asexual that I will link you, so don't panic. You can go check those out. Those will give you an explanation. But going into this video, we're going to assume that you at least already know the basics about what being asexual is. We will talk about some of the stereotypes as we look at some of these memes, but we're not going to get into the nitty-gritty of explaining what asexuality is. Oh, before we get into the memes, I also want to say that I have a little bit of Adventurer Mage merch that is Pride themed for both of our Arrow Ace main characters, so if that interests you, it's incredibly niche, but if that interests you, also linked below. Alright, now after that very long intro, let's get into some memes, shall we? I will try to describe the memes as best I can, so if you are not able to watch and you can only listen, I will try to describe what I'm seeing, but obviously this video might be better if you're able to actually watch it. But, you do you, whatever works. We're just gonna, in no particular order, just go through all the memes that I found humorous. This one plays off of a quote-unquote joke, I guess, that I've heard several times people make. When you tell them you're asexual, you usually get one of two responses if people are trying to be funny. So the first one is going to be, what are you, a plant? The other one is going to be, are you a single-celled organism? And so in this meme, we have Mr. Stick Figure, and he says, I'm asexual. And then in the next frame, it says, now begins my mitosis, and Mr. Stick Figure is splitting in two. Raise your hand in the comments if you're asexual and you have gotten the whole, what are you, a single-celled organism? I know it might feel like me explaining the memes kind of ruins the joke, but I do want this to be kind of accessible to everybody. In this one, we have Gru kind of looking around his minions. It says, asexuals be like. In terms of sexual attraction, we have no sexual attraction. That was my best attempt at a Gru accent. I don't think it was correct, but yes. I don't know if this meme is implying that maybe Gru might be on the ace spectrum, but I could see it. Just because he falls in love and has a wife later on does not mean that he's not asexual. Plenty of asexuals get married. I'm asexual and married, so yes, it could be true. I could see it. Here we have the classic mother holding one child up out of the pool while the other child is struggling. The child that's being held up says lesbian and gay representation. The mother is the media, and the person drowning is bisexuals. And then below that we have a skeleton chained to a chair underwater, which is asexuals. And yep, I mean, bisexuals and asexuals, we kind of fall under that umbrella of quote-unquote invisible sexualities, and the media is only just barely starting to come on board with realizing that we exist. Romance and love and sex are part of human nature. Asexuals and aromantics look at each other. Gods? gods. And then we have Tulio and Miguel, mighty and powerful gods. That's another one that we get a lot of times. I've heard this one many times, is that experiencing sexual attraction or sexual desire is what makes us human, which is absolutely ridiculous. All right, this one is all just written. Straight boys, why are all the hot girls lesbians? Lesbians, why are all the hot girls straight? Straight girls, why are all the hot guys gay? Gay guys, why are all the hot guys straight? Bisexual people, why are all the hot people taken? Pansexual people, everyone is so hot, what do I do? Asexual people, what? Here we have Waluigi as the ideal asexual man. Wears the asexual colors. Can maintain strong platonic relationships, confident in himself, isn't interested in sex or romance, only winning. Strong web of friends, doesn't care what others may think of him, loves garlic bread. Yep, that is the ideal, just asexual in general. Here we have just a 4-panel comic. One little guy asks, am I asexual? I probably am. I don't experience sexual attraction, and I relate to other aces. And then another character labeled allos for allosexuals leans in and goes, no. And then our poor little guy says, maybe I'm doing it for the attention. That's another stereotype that a lot of people say. I've heard this one as well. You're just making that up. You're just doing it for attention. You just want to be special. It's like, fam. There are so many more interesting ways to quote-unquote be special. Why would we choose this one? This one has a cute little froggy in the ace colors, and it just says, turn the frickin' frogs ace. I just liked it because it is very cute. And of course it is a reference to
chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.
Here we have a person, I don't recognize, if this is a specific character, I don't recognize who it is, but it's one of those holding up a hand like, no, I don't want that, to sex, but then he's like, yeah, to cuddling, hand-holding, cheek kisses, hugging, smooches, spooning, matching outfits, pillow fights, movie dates, stargazing, oversized sweatshirt borrowing, and head on the shoulder. And this just makes me think of so many times people get confused between romantic and sexual attraction and the desire for a romantic but not sexual relationship. Again, not all aces are sex repulsed, but as an asexual who is romantic, I definitely sometimes find it annoying where people are like, well, how do you show like affection to your husband? Like, there's a bazillion ways to be affectionate with your romantic partner without involving the sex part. People are so unimaginative sometimes. All right, in this next meme, we have a guy labeled me falling head over heels romantically, and walking past him is a woman labeled a nice person, but then the guy is stopped by his friend labeled they want sex. This is something that is so frustrating, especially if you are a asexual who does experience romantic attraction and desire to be in a romantic relationship, and you fall in love with someone, but sex for them is an incredibly important part of their relationship, and so it's never going to work. And it's just so disappointing when you meet someone who's completely compatible with you, except for in that one way. And for many allos, sex is like the most important thing. Here's another classic one. Little girl rolls her friend in a wheelchair along a grassy cliffside, and the little girl says, I'm asexual, and her friend says, there's no such thing, you just need to meet the right person. And then the little girl dumps her friend off of a cliff. Any asexuals watching this video are like, yep, but anybody who's new to it, you're finding out all of the ways that people try to erase asexuality. And one of them is to say that you just haven't met the right person yet. Here we have a kid looking so done in his SpongeBob pajamas, and it says, when you find some amazing music, but then you read the lyrics and it's all about sex. I feel this, especially as I was trying to build a playlist for the Adventurer Mage books, wherein the two main characters are platonic soulmates, like they will never have sex, and they're arrow ace, so they will also never kiss, and that kind of, those romantic kind of things. And I wanted to build a playlist that was all about like really strong friendship, but all like, there's so few friendship songs, especially ones about really strong friendship. It's all just like romance, romance, romance. So the playlist does involve several romance songs, and I just have to headcanon that it's not talking about romance. By the way, if you hear meowing, I shut myself in the office to film this, and the cats are not pleased by that. This one's always funny because sometimes we aces try to figure out like what sexual attraction actually feels like. So it's just text over an ace flag and it says, trying to explain attraction as an ace person. Them, how can you find people attractive if you're asexual? Me, I think of attractive people like sunsets. Them, huh? Me, I don't want to fuck a sunset. Aesthetic attraction is something I experience, and it is very difficult to figure out how to separate it from sexual attraction. And basically, that's it. I think people are beautiful. I love to look at them, but I look at them as you would look at a beautiful, gorgeous piece of art or a beautiful sunset. I don't want to get any, genitals involved in any of that. Why would you want that? It's just like, you're so beautiful and I want to look at you forever. Here we go. We got one of those classic what people think I do, what I actually do ones. So being asexual, what my friends think I do. A lady wearing a nun habit. Yes, being asexual is not the same as celibacy. Celibacy is a choice. Asexuality is a sexuality. The next one is what my mom thinks I do, which is basically a gal holding up her hand in a guy's face. Like, nah, none of that. What doctors think I do. Again, we have the single-celled organism splitting. What society thinks I do. We got the crazy cat lady from The Simpsons. Probably gonna yeet some cats at somebody, which, to be fair, is close to what I do. What I think I do. Just a picture of two people cuddling. Yes. What I actually do. Person eating cake. The accuracy, though. We have replaced sex with cake and garlic bread. Yeah, sex is great, but have you ever tried garlic bread? Again, we just have text on a white screen, person nudging me in the ribs and winking. So, which way do you swing? My asexual, aromantic ass. I fell off. Person, what? Me. The swing. I fell off it. No swinging for me. Just chilling in the sandbox, filling other people's shoes with sand. This one actually made me laugh. It's just a girl in a truck looking back, and she's wearing a cowboy hat, and it says reverse cowgirl or something, IDK, I'm asexual. Here's just another text one. To this day, there are times when I'm reading something that involves or describes sexual attraction, and my instinctive thought is, but no one really feels that way, though. And then I have to catch myself and be like, yes, they do. You're just asexual. And I don't know, it makes me laugh sometimes. Yeah, this happens to me. Sometimes something will happen in a show or a book, and I'll have to turn to my allisexual husband and be like, is this real? This sounds fake. And he'll be like, no, that's real. Here we just have a guy freaking out, and it says, when you grow up wanting a happy, a lifelong relationship without sex, but then you grow up and find out people see sex as an essential part of a relationship. Confused screaming. People value sex as the most important part of a relationship. It's just so confusing. This one's pretty simple. It's another one of those, no, I don't like that. Yeah, I like that ones. The first panel is not liking sex. The second panel is not feeling sexual attraction, because people often conflate being asexual with not liking sex at all, when your libido and your sexual attraction are two separate things. I know I said I wasn't going to try to explain too much in this video, so I definitely encourage you to go look up the difference between a libido and sexual attraction to people, because it's not the same. Aces can be horny as fuck sometimes. They just don't feel sexual attraction to people. Here we have Gru, those 4 panels with Gru, where he's excited and then gets steadily more dismayed. The first panel says, get into a piece of media. The second panel says, join the fandom so you can share your enthusiasm for it. Third panel, the fandom makes everything romantic and sexual. Fourth panel, the fandom makes everything romantic and sexual. Yeah, this is really frustrating, especially if you're an ace and you're trying to read fan fiction. You just really want to get into the characters and their relationships, but you don't want the romantic or sexual part all the time. So often if I'm reading a fanfic, I will skim or skip the sexy time parts, or a lot of times the sexy time comes at the end of the fic, and I'll just read up to that and be like, okay, that was good. Here we have a little comic. This person in the comic could be replaced with me, I feel like, especially with my latest book series that I'm working on. On the first panel, he says, but what if this character doesn't fuck? And then we have people standing around just kind of staring at him. At first, they're kind of staring blankly. Then in the next panel, they're freaking out. There's flames in the background. They're screaming. One guy's wielding an axe. One of them's being punched. Lots of yelling. Lots of chaos. And in the fourth panel, the artist is just smiling at us. That's how I feel Sometimes I'm like, is anybody going to want to read the Adventure of Mage series because the characters never have sex or even kiss? Like, but then I just kind of get this like shit-eating grin because like, who's going to make me include that in my book? Once I kind of realized to myself, like, I don't have to include that if I don't want to. It was so freeing, and I was like, I can write a strong relationship without the sex part, and who can stop me? No one can stop me. Here we have Thomas the Tank Engine. It says at the top, when a sex scene comes on unexpectedly, and then below Thomas it says, it was time for Thomas to leave. He had seen everything. I hate when shows rely on sex to try to reel the viewers in. It gets so exhausting. It's like, why? Why are we relying on this? Here we have another asexual erasure joke. Harry Potter gonna put on the cloak of invisibility, except for it's the ace flag. Yep. Also, a lot of aces and bisexuals don't feel welcome at Pride, and we've been erased not only by the general public, but also fellow LGBTQ folks, and it's just very frustrating. This one just has a little Shiba doggy with an ace flag on him, and he says, reblog to let your asexual followers know that they are radder than like a whole jar of peanut butter. And that's true. I love my ace viewers. Asexual people have found me and enjoy my channel because I'm like unashamedly asexual. So I'm glad, and I also think that y'all are radder than like a whole jar of peanut butter. I love this one. This one also made me laugh out loud. This one says, friends with benefits is a scam. It turns out the benefit is sex and not dental, and I have been misled. And finally, our last meme, it's a Pokemon battle with an ace flag as the trainer Pokemon and a $sign as the adversary Pokemon, and it says, advertiser used sex appeal. It wasn't very effective. Yep, using sex appeal to try to advertise to us asexuals, not really gonna work. However, we are very susceptible to food advertisement, so yeah. So there you go, those are all the ace memes that I collected. I tried to curate it a bit and find ones that are funny and not too like similar to each other. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Don't forget that you can read a couple of my books out now, links in the doobly-doo, as well as links to all of my social media. Like I said, I'm a very out and proud asexual. I do have several videos that are about being asexual. And like I said, keep an eye on me because I'm going to have a couple of books coming out that do have asexual lead characters in them. Both Boots, which is coming out later this year, and Adventure of Mage, which I don't know when that's going to be released, but either maybe late this year or early next year. Either way, ace characters in all of them, so look forward to that. And of course, if you want to support me monetarily and help me feed my pets, as well as help me self-publish my own books, you can support me over on Patreon. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you don't mind that this one, I didn't show my face in this one. I hope that a voiceover one every now and then is okay with everybody. And I will see you again next time with whatever it is I happen to be doing next time. Bye! Oh, and happy Pride!
Who are you?
No one of consequence.
I must know.
My 96, Unicorn Jenny, Callison, SV, Celia, Taya, Alyssa, Rita, Deborah, Afra, Melissa, AC, Swamp Goblin Waifu, Ashley, Sophia, Merween, Kit, Hidden Glade, Light Julie, Belle, Patrick, and Sophie, Ray, Shelby, Zaire, Jesper, Rennie, Scribbling Cat, Savvy, Jenny, Amanda, Lisa, and Sarah. Even if you don't understand, listen up and join the marching band. It's a-okay to identify with a